All right, we're live. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Russell Journal. My name is Russell, and this is my journal entry for what day is today? Thursday? No, Monday, March 6th, 2023. Jeez. Monday already. Back weekends are getting shorter and shorter, aren't they? Used to be just a little thing. I used to hate the weekend. I don't love the weekend now. I prefer the week. I like weekdays are when I do things that really move me forward towards most of my goals. So I tend to like to be active towards most of my goals. And so things of that nature. All right. So looking at the chart of SPY today, SPY, the cash proxy for the S&P 500. Hold on. I got to close this door. I forgot. No background noise. My bad. All right. Pretty interesting. And interesting because I really got what I expected to happen today. I didn't expect it to actually happen this exact way, but I did expect it to happen. Okay. So really what you can see from here, and this is really interesting. I'm going to make this zoom in a little more so we can see. Why is this not? It's not responding to me. Okay. So you get these two really big outside days up. The two things that I'm really looking for today is one, to not have an inside candle. That's the first thing that I'm looking for. The second thing I am looking for is I am looking for a Doge type candle. As far as this goes, where that should take this is a continuation pattern in the upward direction. Now, here I expected profit taking. What I wasn't positive about was whether this would be an inside candle down, an inside candle, or a doji candle up, like above, a doji candle down. I wasn't sure exactly what that would be. But I was pretty positive that this was going to be a doji candle in here. This red line is my 18-day moving average. Again, going back to what I was saying with the slow stochastic, some proof of concept from Friday. Again, got the move up. This move happened way ahead. It actually happened ahead of the slow stochastic fully coming out. So you can't see that now today. But if you go back and watch yesterday's show, I do point out both lines weren't over 20, and you still got the push up there. A few other things that are really interesting developments on this chart are these two lines down here. I know it sort of blends into one line. This 100-day coming up over the 200-day. I think that's a pretty bullish development as far as I'm concerned. And what this typically, from what I have been taught, dictates is that the previous high, and I can wheel out. We can go out here and go back over here to this previous high. This high back up here at 418 should get challenged, if not taken out with that move. That is what that typically dictates, especially given on a daily chart. Now, what I want to say about this is, again, this is not... It's one thing to have that as a price target. It is one thing to have that area right in there as a price target. It is another thing to trade based on that. Okay. We need some proof of concept here, right? Okay. So where in this then am I looking for my proof of concept? Well, there's a couple of things that I thought were really, really cool that happened. Is one, they brought price up to the 18-day moving average. And one of the things I think is really unique about this situation, and I've seen this before, especially on shorter time frames like the 15 and the 30-minute, is they brought it up here, they held it up here, and let the day close, and that brought the 18 underneath price, okay? What this should technically do is there are a ton of algorithms that around the 18 and 20-day, they're long bias. So you can really trick a lot of the computers into buying and stuff like that. Now, again, this is not trade strategy. This is not trade setup. This is none of those things. This is just kind of chart talk. okay, as far as I'm concerned. So, and it's stuff we kind of want to be aware of. So you can see today we got to push up into the 407 area, and then you went round trip right back to where you pretty much right where you opened. You can look up here and see you closed almost pretty much flat on the day. You really didn't go anywhere, to be honest with you. Didn't break out. Now, what I will say is this is my thoughts on this is that you'll hear people say, well, that's a Doge candle. It's an indecision candle. I wouldn't say that at all. I would say that this is one group of guys taking profit and one group of guys building positions. That's what I would say is happening here. You've got a lot of buying pressure underneath this candle. You've got selling pressure on the top. The fact that the bulls would not want to rally into some other group of guys taking profit that makes absolute sense. To me, it would be very logical to see this. Now, what I will say is you have non-farm payrolls coming up. Those are some big reports and stuff like that, economic stuff. So you don't have a whole lot of catalysts for this to rally higher going forward, but you're going to be hard-pressed to see it sell. That's what I think, okay? See it sell down. Your momentum is up. Your intermediate trend is up, right? We wheel this out. This chart right here, okay? When you watch my reports, when you watch my episodes, this is episode number 60. Way to go, Russ. You have done this consistently for at least 60 live streams. Okay, low, higher low, high, higher high, higher low. Now what you have to do is make a higher high. You have two things here that will tell you that is not going to happen. Either A, a break below 391.91, I believe is what that number is at. And then these ones over here, a break below 380. What is this? 380. Well, this got down to 374, a break below 374. Okay. Those are really the two indications that is not happening. Okay. You have to have a break below those to create lower lows. Okay. And you can also get that if in the next few days, you don't go up and break above this 418, if that doesn't happen, say by the end of probably like next week or something, right? Don't get me wrong. You could consolidate through here for a very long time. That could happen very easily. Consolidate for a very long time. Any amount of time. This can go waft sideways for weeks. It absolutely can. And so I'm not saying what it will do. This is not really a prediction. There's really three directions for a market. There's up, down, and sideways. Like that's it. Those are the three directions for the market. Okay. It can do any of those things. And you're at a very interesting place because you're 50% retraced of this, from this to this, right? And from this to this. You're halfway there. You're halfway home. Okay. A break above 50% retracement mark. And again, that's something that comes from like Fibonacci levels. And I don't do Fibonacci levels. I do the 50% retracement because you can back test 50% on SPY over and over and over again. And you can see where 50% retracement is very, very common. It is very. Now, what I will say is that sort of ABC thing where you get consider this move like 100%, this move 50%. This one should have been another 100% move. That would have been a true ABC pattern. And then the other thing about it is like something like Elliott wave, where this would be wave number 1, wave number 2, wave number 3. Now here's the problem with this. Wave number 3 here, this is not the biggest wave, and wave number 3 should be the biggest wave in Elliott wave theory. I don't, again, do Elliott wave theory. I think it's very interesting. I think if you hear people talking about it, it's something that's interesting to hear people talk about. But I also think that it tends to be something that on the chart, you can just keep zooming out until it fits whatever you want it to say. So it's one of those things that's really difficult, I think, to look at and go Elliott wave theory and say, and that's part of the reason why my setup, I did try and do that before with Elliott wave theory as a part of like a setup system. But really, I've never seen it work totally. I've never seen a wave to understand how it sets up. And to be honest with you, it almost doesn't matter when you're given sort of the trend. Once you start sort of looking at this from a position of just trends, I personally think that's easier than trying to mentally gymnastic this into saying something about Elliott wave, right? Doing something about Elliott wave. So that's kind of where I am with it. I'm going to check really quick to see if Nick showed up. And then we'll talk about my trading today and what happened, and because it was kind of a cool day. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. All right. So today was a red day for me. I had this idea that we would have this here, but I was somewhat hopeful on the other side that you would close into the upper range of the candle. I was hoping for a bullish hammer candle coming into the daily time frame. I did not get my bullish hammer candle, so it did not happen, and I suffered a red day. Okay. I'm not upset about it. It's just another day. It was well within inside of my setup, well within inside of my plan. I'm not really that mad about it. It was the trade that it was. So really good. My first trade was awesome. I tried, and we'll go to a shorter time frame. We'll go into the 5-minute time frame. I don't know why it's not responding to my clicks. Okay, so this has the extended hours on it because I'm kind of watching it in the after to see what it does. Okay, so obviously you open up, you are gapped up above yesterday a little bit. You pop up here, 407.5. I shorted off of this first bounce. It stopped me out. It made this next bounce up, and I shorted off of that, taking profit when I was up about $200. So for my 10 contracts, that was about 20-cent move for me. Pretty good deal. And then I began looking for a reversal back in the other direction, back towards 407, especially given that you have one hump, two humps. I was really looking for that sort of third move up there into this really sort of in that, and that just never happened. And you can see from along the chart, you can see it tried a lot to get that party started. Go back into here, get the breakdown here, tried to get it going, failed, tried to get it going, failed, tried to get it going, failed. Ultimately, like I said, I genuinely believe that, simply put, the bulls were not going to try and rally against other bulls taking profit. Most of them are probably busy trying to cycle some type of buying power, something of that nature. And all of which, none of that really matters, right? It's nice to have a narrative. It is nice to have a narrative, but none of that really matters. Basically, you just fell into this channel and you followed it all the way down. You weren't able to break out. It tried. It kept trying, right? Even into the end of the day, it kept trying. Didn't get there. Fair enough, right? As far as my setup goes, this is going back to the daily time frame. Okay. Intermediate uptrend, short-term downtrend. Okay. Looking for this thing to do a thing. Momentum is up. Your bias is long over the 18-day moving average, and you're over the 18-day moving average with an intermediate uptrend. Okay. Here's the thing. My setup tells me I'm looking for long entries. That's what it tells me. Okay. Tells me I am trying to trade in the direction of momentum, if not in the direction of the trend. Okay. you get a day like today, and the only other explanation for today, the only other option for today would have been simply don't trade it. Don't trade it. It doesn't entirely fit with your setup. Okay. Again, we kept trying to get those moves. We kept trying to get that break in the other direction. I did keep trying to sort of get long into this, and it just nothing worked for me. So I'm not that upset. I followed the thing. My loss isn't that bad. I'm doing all right. It was a legitimate risk reward scenario. And I will tell you, if you look at the calls, the call delta ratio was fantastic today. You could have very easily gotten the move in that upward direction. And I would fully expect it to do it next week. Nick just showed up. Everybody say hi to Nick in the chat. So, red day for me, Nick. If don't want to watch back, if you want to just jump in here, red day for me. But so here, I'll go over this for Nick really quick. My setup, daily time frame dictates what I do on the shorter time frames. Okay. Now, I did actually oversleep, so I missed the rally into 407 and a half. And so the setup for me dictates a long setup, okay, because you're over the 18-day. So my bias is now long. Your momentum is coming up over the 18-day. Again, following trading with momentum is long. And the other thing is your intermediate term trend is in the upward direction. So more momentum than, your short-term trend is still down. Really, this kind of gets a little weird for me with this, because tentatively, until that high is taken out there, or until you put in some type of higher low scenario, I probably shouldn't be actually trying to trade this. I should probably be just sitting back waiting for it to do something. But today I traded a little real money. With this, I traded a little real money. So I kind of should not be doing that. It should be just paper trading. I'm going to be paper trading, I promise. I don't know where to go with this. All right. Anyway, it's like I said, red day, but not that bad. Well within inside of my risk tolerance. I'm not, my risk parameters. It was fine. Tried to get long. You can see we kept trying to get the bounce back in the other direction. Really trying to hold these averages as support. It just couldn't get moving in that direction. So let me get rid of this. Extended hours. Yeah, so you can see here where the stochastic kept trying to come out of oversold. And this is on the 5-minute. You can see where it kept trying to come out of oversold and just couldn't get that bounce. So anyway, that's pretty much how the day went. I have no expectations for tomorrow. Essentially, what I'm looking for is a pullback into that 18-day moving average and some sort of show of support there, and some sort of, and then a buy signal into that. It's at 403 something. Let's go to the daily. Daily time frame. Shit, I can't see it for some reason. Whoops. Hold on. We're almost there. Why is that not doing that? Let me grab one of these, see if this will make it do it so I can see it right in here. I can't see it. Did that really dip that low? 403.92. That's where I'm looking for support. Right in there at that there. I'm looking for us to find that support in around that area. Start closing below that, and you got yourself a nice short setup coming in. Stay above that, and you've got a long setup. That's as far as my system goes. Again, taking your entries off of that average. Yeah. I want to make that money, Nick. That's all I'm going to say. See if Nick says anything. So trading, the only way to be successful at this is obviously through discipline, right? What do you have to do to make money? What do you have to do to make money in trading? Buy low and sell high tentatively. You have to execute. That's the name of the game, is execution. I'm waiting to see what Nick has to say because so the answers that Nick wants are basically the same ones they've always been. There's nothing new to add to this. You have a setup, you follow your setup, you stay disciplined to that. Have an edge and execute the edge. Right. That's where I was going. So it's all execution. So what does it matter whether I try and execute with real money or paper money? Or take one contract. Aim small, miss small. Paper is free. You learn from your mistakes for free in a low stress situation, then increase stress slowly. I have no comment for that at all. I mean, you're not wrong. I can't argue with you that okay, so here's what I'm going to say about this is that I don't remember who tweeted it, but they tweeted this meme I need braces. Yeah, that is true. Um, yeah, I'm in this weird spot, right? That somebody tweeted this thing the other day. I want to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up because I think it's relevant here. They tweeted this meme that says, when you should buy, you won't want to, right? They'll do stuff to you in this. There's a psychological thing here where when you should buy, you won't want to. And I will say I feel that lately. It's the hardest thing for me to take seriously is paper trading. It is the hardest thing for me to do. And not to paper trade. I can place paper trades all day long. It is the probably most difficult thing for me to paper trade and take it seriously. Like and when I do paper trade, I do a lot of stuff that like kind of fucks it up, right? Like if I place a bad trade, like let's say I'm close, right? Let's say I take a trade and I was close on the trade, right? I have a history of erasing that account and starting over. Ignore. I'll make money by having my following my exit and not ignoring. What is this? Oh, and not ignoring it and get distracted with movements of candles. No, you're fine, Pereza. I'll give you a bit of inspiration. I have no comment as far as like what you're talking about, Nick. We've talked about it before. It's true. I'm just not doing it. And that's cool. So Nick says, in November, my friend showed me a potential strategy. I spent about 3 weeks getting data and testing it. Then I spent 1 month paper trading, not looking at my P&L at all. 1 equals good trade, 0 equals bad trade. Then I spent 1 month paper trading, not looking at my P&L at all. I only my execution. 1 equals good trade. Once I got to 80% accuracy on the execution, then I traded tiny size. And then what happened, Nick? First of all, like I want to know what's a small is small size for you one contract or one? I know you trade futures, so is it 1 position, 2 positions? You know, trading to learn the job. I will agree. Like trading to increase your account size is redonkulous. That's a terrible idea. I've done that before. I don't even do it anymore. I'm not looking to see my account grow, right? Most of the time. Not yet, anyway. Perez wants to know when you started trading, Nick. Nick's been going for like 3 or 4 years, almost 5 years, I think now. So Nick Perez, Nick trades futures. Risk is 400 to 800. Trade profit is 1,000 to 2,000. NQ is the NASDAQ futures. And he trades with 85% accuracy. So what is that? Like a 1.5, 1 to 1.5 risk reward? No, I don't remember. The difference between futures and options has to do with leverage. And it also has to do like whatever move happens in the futures, you capture in your futures contracts. Right? It's not when I stopped and focused on execution on paper, that's when I started R&R 1 to 2.5. Accuracy means you trade your plan spot on. 15% is not ideal. So this is execution. Actually, the number of times you are mentally capable of taking the right trade, taking exactly your setup. That 15% that you don't take your setup, is it because you're mistaken, or is it often because you're impulsive some way? Yeah, no time decay. There's no PTD rule with it either, by the way. I've really looked lately at going over to futures because it's still leveraged, right? Like the minis are like, I don't know, what are they, like 50 to 1 leveraged? So they trade Maria, they trade on trade of 8. Oh, I'd say probably it maybe 50%, Nick. No, you can't trade futures on Weeble. You have to go to a different broker, Trade of 8 or Ninja Trader or Thinkorswim, one of those ones. It's interesting. So the thing, Maria, that Nick is, let me tell you what Nick is going to say to you, Maria. It doesn't matter whether you trade futures or whether you trade options. The losses that you incur happen from not respecting your setup. And that happens as a result of either A, not being clear on your setup, or B, not. And this is what Nick is going to say. Oh, then I execute way below 50%. So I'm probably executing at about a 20%. Or less. I'm probably executing closer to your 15%. You gotta, so Maria, the problem with this is like you have to see it over like a long time frame, right? You need to see it over like 1 month, 3 months. Like, it's nice you made a profit last week, right? In January I was hella green, but in February I was hella red, you know. And now for March I'm red. I'm not super red compared to some of my other losses, but I'm red. But this is where Nick is talking about, it's really coming down to identifying your execution or being able to execute well. Paper trade till you hit 80%. That's interesting information. All right. So let's take it step by step. I'll paper trade the next 10 trades I take will be paper trades. And we'll see what those stats are. And then we'll just keep adding to it with 10, 20, 30, 40 and see where it lies. Nick definitely a fan of the futures. So, all right, that's what we'll do. We will paper trade the next Russell journals will all be about paper trading. I will paper trade and okay. So we'll just start my paper trading update will be for 10 trades. Once I have 10 trades done, I will bring a spreadsheet up. I will post it back here. You'll be able to see what I did. I don't like to take screenshots, Nick, because of my visual impairment, but like I'll take them and we can go over the screenshots of those trades. And so we nail this execution down. So, all right, guys, it is getting a little late. We've been going for a half hour. So I will look forward to reporting my paper trading to you guys in the next couple of days. and we'll see how it goes. We'll take it from there. All right, gang. I'm going to call it a day. Russell Journal, written, edited, hosted by me, Russell Liss, except for the stuff Nick is adding, which is gold pretty much as far as I can tell. And we're produced by Social Media Shows. Our executive producer is Maria Pereza. Just wrap this up. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. So until then, let's pretend I said some sort of catchphrase. Oh,
this show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Michelle at 702-683-6576. Her license number is S.48606. This show is also brought to you.
Welcome to Social Media Shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.